Hi, it's Christine from the channel Christine and Celeste, and I would like to share another reading I did today. I have a little bit of time for the moment, so I'm trying, to pair cards and oracles together or tarot together. And what prompted this is that I went to yoga last night and I started again having cramps in my shoulders, but I mean, so bad. It hurts. It's not painful, but a cramp is really, it's awful. But imagine in your shoulder blades, it's weird. But anyway, I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. Nobody can help me, it seems, as in science. So I'm really trying to relax with it and get deep into my yoga and in a slow manner, obviously, as soon as our shoulders are concerned. But today I just helped. I asked for guidance. I contacted my guide and I said, please, help me, give me a hint of how much further I could go with it, because I try to relax. It's not natural for me, but I do. So anyway, I don't want to talk about my life. It's not that interesting. But boxes. I used 3 tarot. I don't know if I have all the boxes. I have the books anyway. I can show you. So I used the Starchild Akashic, the second edition. I used the Lioness Oracle, that's the first edition, and then I used the Tarot of the Cat People. So, first of all, I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, if you've got both the first tarot, the Starchild and the Lioness, that they are exactly the same type, the same size, except I think the Lioness is a little bit less matte, but size-wise, the gilding. Let me show you the gilding. A bit of tarot porn here. Okay, right. So one is slightly more goldish than the other one, but they're both gold gilded, right? But they really go well together. So I tried them for size. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I try them for images, size, or just the feeling I have. So the first one, I picked the first card of my guidance today, is the Two of Swords. Was I surprised? No. But I was looking at the picture, trying to read from the picture, and the first thing that struck me is the moon. That are the moons. The moon in the sky. I think it's the moon. I took it as the moon anyway, and the moon on her shoulder here, like one of these new white tattoos, you see. And so I knew it was my answer about my shoulder. And you see 2 swords on each side, one on the left, one on the right, and it's exactly, I have pain in both. 2012 started my left one, and then 2014 the right one. Yeah. So it's you see the mountains there, and honestly it is that it's like not knowing which way to go. I think what's happened, because 2012 my life changed dramatically, and I think since then there's a lack of, how can I say that? I feel I've been thrown outside of my path, and it's not true, because you're always in your path, right? You are, even if you feel you're not in it. But I was thrown away out of the path I loved, and put on a new one, which is not bad. I mean, nothing to complain about at all. But I think it doesn't worry. What bothers me is that it's not one I would have chosen, right? And maybe it has to do with this, that it's the extreme frustration, although my life is good right now, it's okay, that it's not what I would have chosen in a way. It's a bit weird. I don't know if I can make sense, if I make sense. But anyway, so my shoulders started playing up. But then in 2012, I moved 8 times. So of course I would injure myself physically too. And the stress of it all, moving, weddings, everything, all that is the most top high stressful. But that was one. So I got a few stresses all together. And somehow it put my frame of mind, even if I'm working every day on it, I meditate, I do yoga, I try and catch, ideas. I think it's deep rooted, right? I'm like, come on, get out of this. But it's deeply rooted. And I even got the tattoo. And it's hidden. It's that female side. So although it's swords, I do have the thought too that it can be about feelings too, and this feeling of frustration and just looking ahead but not knowing which way to go. And I think that comes from that 2012 thing even. So yeah, that's the situation right now. As I said, it's not bad. It's just that I want to know why it affects me physically. And to me, that's a really interesting point to look into, because I know there is a psychological issue behind it. Medically, there's nothing wrong with me, apart from the constant inflammation, right? So, then... we're staying in swords, of course. With the Lioness, I picked the King of Swords. Now, I don't know if you see at the top here, there's an eagle. Oh, by the way, the booklets, again. Can I complain about the booklets? It's not about booklet, once again, the Lioness, right? It's not about booklet. It's just that... once again, there's no personal input from the artist. So, like, for example, I searched everywhere to know what this perch was, right? It's like a metal perch, and it looks like metal Indian. I don't know if it's like, if it can open and maybe you put something in it. I just don't know what it is, and I would have loved to. But anyway, coming back to these. So you see now the 2 swords have become 2 flowers. I'm putting it the wrong side. It's like that. Yeah. For you. The 2 swords have become 2 flowers. The swords, which are represented by the eagle at the top, is now elevated, right? So my guidance is elevate your thoughts, and as a result you will be thinking more of flowers than swords, right? So I know it's a simple message, but at the same time it's very efficient. Very efficient. So the eagle too, it's about vision to the ego, right? Because it's a higher vision, higher thoughts. You can fly higher, and you look down. Obviously, they look for their prey. I'm not going to look for my praise, but I need to keep my eyes open too, because maybe there's another solution, maybe some relaxing, something that can relax me more and or stop the inflammation better. So that's quite interesting. So once again, it's all in my head. I picked the last card from the Tarot of Cat People. I don't know if I'm going to hold them. There. And it's the Queen of Pentacles. So now, if I do this work, if I really work harder on elevating those thoughts, right? Then with the Queen of Pentacles, you can see now there's two, right? They're living like in bubbles. And look how she's dressed. What a beautiful card. How she's dressed. She's got a sapphire in her hands, right? So that's blue, so that's improved communication. So obviously improved thoughts equals improved communication. But look how she feels good in herself. So easily looked at on cards, harder to do every day because we have a million of thoughts every day, and catching all of them is not an easy task. But just wanted to share my cards with you today, and I hope you're all well, and I see you soon. Bye bye.